Okay, this video will help you with doing specific heat problems and being able to solve. Basically, there's only two kinds of problems for specific heat, and I'm going to show those to you in this video. The table that you have in CMC, the textbook that you have at home, on page 492 will give you all of the specific heats except these guys. So you want to have those for your records. Next, specific heat is simply 3 units of measure. And the way these came about is, and let's try water because water is very familiar to all of us. And the way this unit of measure came into being was they took a pint of water, or a gallon, or whatever, but a pint is a pound the world round when you're talking about water, and they heated the water 1 degree, and they took 1 gram of the stuff, and we're doing this experiment. And so 1 gram went up 1 degree centigrade when there was 4.184 joules of energy given to it. Isn't that something? And then they just plugged in the numbers, and then they had it. But for right now, this means that there are only 3 variables, and they're joules, mass, or grams, and a degree temperature change. So let's go on and see what that actually means. Let's do the problem types. There's 2 problem types, and I'm going to do the problem type and an example, and a problem type and an example, and you want to write these down because these are your actual homework problems from last night. If you didn't get them checked out and are sure that you did them right, now is the time when you want to make sure that you do have them right. But I've put the units of measure up here in the top right corner again, just for reference purposes. And in 52, these were the givens. So we had kilojoules, grams, and delta T. Can anyone tell me what's wrong with kilojoules? Why can't I use that? Anyone? Yeah, Lizzie, thank you. What? It's not joules. And that problem is that in your tables, all of the tables use joules instead of kilojoules. So first thing you're going to have to do after you realize what the problem type is, and that is to find the specific heat, and that's your first problem type. But before you can work it, you've got to get your joules into, or kilojoules into joules, and that's the way you do it. Okay, this is just 1 kilojoule equals 1,000 joules, and we use that to convert our kilojoules into joules, and we have a pretty big number of joules, don't we? Okay. Now, when you have that type of problem, understand, first of all, that that is specific heat. Yeah? We got that down so far? Now, guess what? With this type of a problem, I call it plug and play. And the plug and play is putting the numbers that are underlined into this guy here. Does that make sense? It's just so easy. And this is the true plug and play guy. And now we put into our calculators. Why don't you do this along with me? I'm going to plug in my numbers, and we put in 72,400, and I'm going to hit the divide sign. I'm doing this with you because I want you to think for just a minute what you would do next. I'm going to put in the grams number, which is 952. And so far, I think I can get this to work right. Let's get the, yeah, there we go. So this is what I have so far. Now, what was the other number on the bottom of the fraction? Anyone? Here, let's look. Okay, 10.7. Now, how many think that we should multiply? How many think we should divide? How many don't think? All the hands now go up. Yes. Okay, the 10.7 is on the bottom of the fraction. The divide sign that you see right here, that divide sign is saying that the 952 is on the bottom of the fraction. So I have to put the divide sign in again to put in the 10.5. That was 10.5, wasn't it? Yeah. 10.7. Okay, I'm glad I checked. 10.7. And now when you hit the equal sign, you're done and you have your specific heat. 7 point, if we round to 3 sig figs, what would we have? 7.11. Why would you make it 2? See this 7 right here? This makes the 0 into a 1. We round up. And to get 3 sig figs, we'd go 7.1, and then we have to evaluate here whether we're going to round up or leave it the same. And that's why we come out with this number, 7.11. And that's joules per gram degree centigrade. You see this, all of these guys fall out because we're not canceling any of them. Yes, listen. Because if you hit the multiply sign, you're telling the calculator that the 10.7 is on the top of the fraction. And it will do what you tell it to do. And instead of 7.11, you'd have probably 700 something. Huh? Are you trying it?
I multiplied the bottom first.
Oh, you multiply the two numbers on the bottom first, and then you re-enter them as you... Yeah, that'll work. I'm just telling you how to do it all at one time. And you'll have fewer errors if you do that. All you have to remember, there's only one thing you have to remember. If the next number you're putting in is on the bottom, use the division sign. If the next number coming in is on the top, then you have a multiply. And then you and the calculator will get along. And the calculator will give you the numbers that you think you should have. Yeah. Okay? All right, here's our second one. If given only two variables, then we have to find the third variable. So I'm going to ask a couple of you to show us if you really understand this. And let's get a little arrow in here. And I'll get two arrows. And I'm going to point to two of these, and I want you to tell me, if I call on you, what would the find be? And I think we're going to understand this much better when we're done. Okay? I'm going to give you joules and grams. So, Arthur, would you please tell me what is the find going to be? Yes, degrees centigrade. And that's the degrees centigrade change in temperature. Okay? Now, next one up, let's let David Saturian do this one. Joules. Okay, we're going to be looking for joules. Okay, if we do this, and that goes to Raphael, he's not here. That goes to Sassoon. Grams. Okay, it's really easy, isn't it? It's really easy. So, here we go. I'm going to put these in each of the slides again, just to show you, to help you in doing what we're doing. So, let's look at problem number 54. In problem number 54, this is what we were given. Okay, we had the 1.25 kilojoules. We had a temperature change where we went from 12 degrees up to 15. So we increased 3.2 degrees centigrade. Can anybody suggest to me, and you, it's no surprise now that it's grams for the find? Yeah? Can anybody tell me what we're probably going to have to do next before we can solve this problem? Anyone? Lizzie? Absolutely. Yep, that's what we have to do first. So this is how you're going to do that. Okay, so you should be checking your work right now to see if that is what you did. And now, since we know the find, which of these two are we going to choose, Hike? Are we going to choose the joules over grams degrees centigrade here? Or are we going to choose the grams degrees centigrade over joules? Why? Because of the find? Is that what you said? Yeah, okay. Yes, it is because of the find. The find tells you who has to be on top. So if the find is degrees centigrade, Colleen, if the find were degrees centigrade, which of these two would I use? Oh, God. I'm sorry. Jeez, what am I thinking? Alexa, the bottom one again. Absolutely. And Edgar, if the find were joules, which one would I use? The find is joules. So which of these two fractions would I use to... The top one. Absolutely. Okay, good. I think we all understand now? Okay, so that's the one we have to use. And the reason for that, again, is the find. So let's go on and we show our first fraction. And when we look this up in a table, what was the substance? Was this silver? So this is silver, and I just put that in there. And now, why do we put the joules on top? Because we got to get the joules off the bottom. And why is degrees centigrade on the bottom? Gets rid of the centigrade. Now, folks, on your other givens, these guys over here, they are going to form a fraction with one on the top or the bottom, depending on where they have to be to cancel their units of measures, respectively. And so here's the answer you should have on this guy. All right? Okay, one more, and then we're done. I'm going to go through this kind of fast. So in number 56, question? No, okay. In number 56, this is what we're given. We got grams and a temperature change. And the temperature went from 40.1 up to 75.5. And when we subtract them out, this should have a minus, and let's get this over a little. There we go. And the 35 should probably be over just a hair. All right. So, what does our find have to be, William? Very good. It is in joules. All right. And this time we don't have to worry about the kilojoule conversion, do we? Okay, so what's going to be on top in the... Okay, what's going to be on top in the first fraction? Joules or grams degrees centigrade? Joules, yeah. Because joules is what the find is. Okay, and then where's the grams going to go? Top or bottom? On the next fraction. Up, yep. Okay, and the temperature change will go where? On the top again. And what we'll have at the end is 13,560 joules. Big number, huh? That's how we do these guys, folks. So only two problem types. And problem type 2, this guy is the thing that you have to watch out for. And all you have to do is look at your find. And tells you who's on top. I hope you all find this helpful.